Zach D again. I've been going over a lot of rough stuff and I've been going over a lot of trim stuff. So today I'm going through this entire building, making a list of everything that we missed and that needs to be in for final inspection and plug check. So yeah, I'm going to show you my method. It's probably like a common sense type of thing, but I'm going to go over it anyway, just because, you know, you can miss stuff and then the superintendent or whoever's walking it, the building inspector, and they see that it's missing and it just makes us look bad as electricians. So I'm going to try to quickly just run through one of these units and kind of show you my way that I just look for everything, and it's real similar to how I trim out just in general. So I start out just walking outside of the unit. Obviously this is not finished yet, so I'm going to notate on a binder with some paper, even though it's kind of an old-fashioned method. Most people just use their phones, but I kind of like making lists because it makes it easier for people to cross stuff off and get it done. Anyways, this is where the doorbell push button is going to go. It's not currently in, so I'm going to notate that. And as I walk into the unit, I'm just going to look at a wall, and I'm going to wrap the wall just like I do everything else, because by wrapping through here, it gets immensely easier to see anything that we've missed. This is the laundry room. You can tell by the water connection there. There's obviously a missing dryer plug. There's been a hole put into this wall in an effort to find it. Some builders prefer that the sheetrockers do the cutting, or maybe the electrical contractor has contracted that they unbury it and we don't punch a bunch of holes. So before you go looking for a plug, make sure everybody knows that's what you're doing. See if they want the sheetrockers to do it, just so you're not liable for any extra damage in the effort to find that plug. There is supposed to be a 240 30 amp plug there, so that's gonna have to get them buried at some point. I'll kind of just pan around. I'm just looking at everywhere I know there's supposed to be an electrical device. So yeah, all the lights are up. I'm wrapping this wall, finding everything. Here, there's supposed to be a backsplash in the bathroom. So yeah, this isn't gonna be able to be done yet, but I'll notate that in the list. Just quickly panning around, making sure everything is installed. And I'm gonna notate anything that's not. And sometimes you really just gotta know where everything is. I mean, you see enough of these units, you can kind of go through and isolate what is missing and what is not missing. So yeah, see, the water heater's not installed yet. I'm gonna notate that. You really gotta go through this with a fine-tooth comb. If this is a final inspection to see if everything is installed, you know, it's really on us to find anything that's not. So yeah, just don't get caught with your pants down when the superintendent says that you missed something and you think everything's in. Really just go through everything. And yeah, just makes you look better, makes you look like you care about your job more. Remember, we're checking these plates to make sure the screws are straight up and down. Even if they're a little wonky, you know, if you're quickly glancing by this on your final, just try to make sure those screws are up and down, and again, make sure these plates are level. This is something of a list that I've compiled so far. You can do it however you want. Everybody has their own list taking, you know, style, I guess. Again, I know a lot of people do this kind of thing on their phone nowadays, but I don't know, I guess I'm just old, and so I do it like this. But yeah. If you're ever doing a final inspection and you see a wall or somewhere where one unit that's identical to another unit has something and the other version of that doesn't, you can always refer back to the print. Usually they're always available anywhere you work, but yeah, if you just study the print and you see a wall, it's like, hey, there's usually a plug on that wall, and then there isn't one. You can go return to this print and just kind of check. And yeah, this is a good resource to find out where everything's supposed to go, or even what devices are supposed to be where. Like this one specifically, there's supposed to be a USB outlet and a dimmer switch there, so you can always refer back to the print and check and see if everything is actually installed how it's supposed to be. On occasion, there's even certain devices you got to really check and make sure the right one was installed. Like this one is the range plug, and a couple of these units found that they accidentally installed a 30 amp plug as opposed to a 50 amp plug. So that's important because, you know, you walk through, you're like, oh, that plug's in, and then, oh, actually it's not the right plug, even though it looks like it, it's not. So you gotta really pay attention to all these fine details. Our final inspection of our work is probably one of the most important things that you can do, so you have to take it extremely seriously and really go through everything as best you can, because after that, we're not supposed to come back and everything's supposed to work and everything's supposed to be installed. It's really a representation of the effort and work that you and your crew put in. So definitely treat it very serious and go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. It's the final investigation on if the job is done and done properly. So yeah, I didn't do plug check in this because, again, there's no power to these buildings yet, so that'll come later. Another thing to keep in mind is as you're walking through here, because I'm just taking a list right now, but as soon as the crew comes in here with this list, one of the things that they need to do is plug check for switch powers, check for any kind of wiring deficiencies, check to make sure all the plates are level and the devices are tight, make sure any of the plugs aren't sank in and the plates are put on anyway. You really just take pride in your work. You know, I know we're all trying to go fast, and sometimes you're pushed to go too fast, or in your mind you can't get it perfect, but again, this is the end result the customer is going to see. So no matter what, someone in your company is going to have to go back and fix any inaccuracies. And if it's deemed that you were part of the crew that didn't finish that or didn't check it good enough, you know, you'll probably hear about it. And yeah, you just don't take these losses. Just try to win and take accountability and just finish it. And usually when I take accountability for something I messed up, because that happens, you know, not often anymore, but it does happen, and I just take accountability for it, and it makes me better, because when I take accountability for it, the next time I'm doing something like this, I really don't want to take that loss again, so I will just be more diligent in my inspection. So yeah, this has been a little video on things that you can do to ensure that all the work's done and it's done correctly. It's very important, so treat it very seriously. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.